Hey all, Brent here with a little review of Baka to Testo Shoukanjuu, episodes 1 through 3, which I recently watched. Fairly recently. Anyway, it's basically a screwball comedy and a parody in a lot of ways. The basic setup, which doesn't really matter, but it's about a young boy going, or a high school boy going to this exclusive academy, and there's a girl, and there's another girl, and there's a guy who's basically Kamina from Gurren Lagann. And it's a parody of these fighting academy shows. So each class is ranked from like A to F, and the A rank class gets like beautiful lounges and tea services and maids and all this, and class F gets like this tiny cramped room with broken tables. And so each class has to challenge the other classes, and of course, this being anime, when they challenge themselves, like the entire hallway becomes virtual, and each student summons this like chibi version of him or herself to fight, and then the chibi versions fight in this sort of Super Robot Wars style thing where they go and all that fun stuff. But their power is based on how well they did in tests recently, Baka to Test. So it's that kind of a show, but it is a comedy. It is a screwball comedy. And to give you an idea, the first time the characters fight, and of course they all have an initial fighting sequence where they all go through this beautifully animated sequence that's repeated every episode. When the cute girl does it the first time, she goes through a nude transformation sequence out of her school uniform back into the exact same school uniform. No change in that. And when she comes back, she goes, wait, why did I have a new transformation sequence right there? What was the point of that? So fun little stuff like that. I think in episode 3, the main character accidentally glues his hand to a table, and it's just this short gag, but then like for the rest of the episode, he's like hauling this table around with him, and he challenges people, and he's got this table on his hand. So it's goofy stuff like that. Now, my only concern with this is that in episodes 2 and 3, they move on to do a bit more romantic stuff with the main character and each of these girls that are sort of vying for his attention, which is a little quick for a parody show to do that. Now, what I'm hoping is that they're trying to establish these characters early on, which is good. I mean, I'd much rather have a show in which I know enough about the characters to care about them later so I can root for them, instead of making them just flotsam being pulled along by the plot. So here's hoping that that's where they're going with that. It's just sort of surprising to see a show that isn't throwing jokes at you for the first couple episodes to sort of pull you in. But it's definitely solid all around. It has a pretty high budget by modern standards. Very colorful, very bright. Looks a little more like a kid show actually. And it has this rather strong wit. I mean, it's really throwing some jokes out there. One of the characters, the boys, is constantly trying to look up girls' skirts, and so he's just called voyeur. That's what everyone just, hey voyeur, come over here, stuff like that, and they make a lot of jokes about that. So it's definitely a fun show. It's definitely funny, at least for me. I mean, comedy is kind of subjective, and it is pretty rapid fire. I mean, a lot of these shows kind of dwell on the comedy. No, they throw things at you and keep on going. So I was pretty impressed. Now, I'm a fan of screwball comedies. I love Kadocha and Penny Pony Dash and shows like that. But while this is not quite up to that level, it's certainly in the same ballpark, and I was certainly quite impressed. So here's hoping that it continues. Here's hoping that it turns something really good. It's up to probably about episode 8 or so by now in Japan. There are fan subs available. Here's hoping it gets licensed over here and it gets some attention, and it's a fun time.